Welcome back to Risque Business News. I'm your host, Laura.
And I'm May. And today we're going to do a few different stories. I have some about the NYPD, everyone's favorite group of people, having a grand old time. And we're going to talk about Gina Carano suing Disney.
Amazing. On my side, I have a crazy story that's like medium length, so that'll be on the back half. We're going to be talking about the time when employees at eBay cyber-stalked a Massachusetts couple, mailing them live cockroaches, a bloody pig mask, and a book on how to recover from the death of a spouse.
No, please.
It's literally maybe one of the craziest stories I've ever covered. I don't know. It's a real thing, and eBay got fined $3 million for the psychological harm they put on this random Massachusetts couple.
Holy fuck, that's insane.
Yeah.
Well,
so
I'm looking forward.
So strap in.
Yeah.
Where's the money? I don't understand how you make money.
Hold on.
From that, though.
2 stand-up comics in New York City.
Just learned a lot of this stuff. I'm gonna ask all the stupid questions that you might be thinking at home, but are afraid to ask people.
Making it to where you feel like you're too stupid to be able to ever engage in it, they win.
Why the fuck are they doing this?
It's to make money. It's Risque Business News.
Guys, this episode is brought to you by Hike Hopped Seltzer. Thank you so much, Ryan, at Hike Hopped Seltzer. Wow, that's a tongue twister, kind of. Yeah. It is a non-alcoholic beer for all you girlies that are continuing your dry January or don't drink for whatever reason. And yeah, it's got a really cool label. We're excited.
This is perfect for me. Did I tell you about my Lent?
You did not tell me about your Lent.
Okay, well, I mean, do we have anything else to say about Hike? But I can say I'm looking for a little NA alcohol or alternatives to specifically red wine.
Yeah. Red wine is trouble for us.
Red wine is on Pip.
It's on Pip.
It's on Pip. So anything else to say about Hike before I tell you more about my red wine on Pip?
No, follow them. Hike Hopped Seltzer. It's basically a 0 alcohol beer. You're going to love it. They sent us some merch too.
Cool. Actually, wait, this is really cool. Yeah, I'm usually not a fan of a free t-shirt because I've gotten like inundated. I feel like that they really ran with that for a long time.
Yeah.
But this is sick.
No, that is sick.
I'm gonna look like a badass.
I'm going to give it to Mark. And then you'll really get some advertising dollars.
That's pretty big. That's pretty big for you. Good. Guys, Hike. I'll wear it.
Yeah. I am drinking tonight, so we are drinking wine, to be honest.
We're drinking wine and a hike.
We're
taking a hike to white wine.
This is actually great because sometimes I want 2 drinks, but I shouldn't have 2 drinks. This is my second drink. Do you understand? But it has no alcohol.
Well,
something to think about.
That's cheating.
So yeah, you're taking a Pip on red wine.
Red wine is on Pip. I think I talked about this on the last episode, how I was just like, your girls.
Yeah.
And I think I'm allergic to red wine. I'll say it. I think I might be allergic to something in the purple, in the red.
Like the tannins or
yeah,
I don't know what that even means.
I'm not a scientist, May. I'm not sure. So I decided I got a wild hair up my ass and was like, I'm doing Lent this year. My Catholic, no.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do it.
It's kind of awesome. I love it.
I'm excited. I'm on day, what is this, 6 or so? No red wine. It's the easiest Lent in the world.
It's pretty good.
It's not I'm such a pussy about this whole thing. I'm like, I don't want to do dry January. I'll do 1 alcohol item removed Lent.
You know what though? I mean, the only alcohol I really get, well, that's not true. I get into some hairy situations with white wine as well, but for the most part, like my crippling hangovers are from red wine.
Yeah.
And usually I'll look back on red wine and be so embarrassed by things I did, and it's amplified by the fact that I have like purple teeth and I'm just yelling, just saying the stupidest thing you've ever heard in your life to a full group of people with red stained lips. It's so embarrassing.
And they're aware of why you're doing it.
Yeah.
Red wine will sell you out immediately. Yeah. You have 2 glasses and it's like, this bitch is going to tell you about her family drama. That's what she's going to do. White wine keeps a secret. I like it.
Yeah, white wine does keep a secret, but oof. Yeah, red wine, oof, madon. Also, my teeth. Listen, I can't afford to have stained teeth. How about that?
No, of course. Absolutely not. And then, so Lent, I think Lent is back in. I'm into it. I'm trying to make Lent
promoted.
Lent is promoted. I'm trying to make it a thing. Mm-hmm. It's the weird homeschooled Christian cousin of dry January. It's 40 days. So long. I'm going to be really ready for Easter. Guess what I'm having at Easter?
Red wine.
Red wine. Mm-hmm. Or maybe this is a breakup forever. Who knows?
It's not. I am really going to enjoy that first glass of red wine with you. It's
going to be fun. It's cool. It'll be like abstaining.
I don't know what's on Pip for me. I would say what's been promoted is I finally got one of those fucking walking pads that are.
Did you?
I did. So
how do you like it? You're like a gerbil in your own home. Good for
I
you.
haven't stepped one foot on this thing yet. But to be fair, I've been away. I've been in Boston. So anyway, we got it set up. Mark was like, I set it up for you so you could.
Okay, Mark.
I know.
Careful. Careful, Mark.
So
Matt definitely had a period where he was like, I mean, a walking pad sounds pretty cool for the office. I'm like, I'm the only one in the office.
Right.
Asshole. Like,
but it does make sense. I mean, I can never get my steps in because I'm always sitting at my fucking desk, and then Mark will come in and literally talk to me. You know, you really should move your body around a little bit. And I'm like, I am working at my job. I'm working at my job. So anyway, I'm looking forward to it because I think it's going to solve all of my problems. I am going to be a thin mint.
You're already a thin mint.
More so of a thin mint. But anyway, I'm excited about that. Yeah. And then what's on Pip for me this week? I don't know. I'm perfect.
Wow, she's so positive.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's huge. I'll tell you what's on Pip for me. Hertz Rent-A-Car.
Oh,
I have a fucking bone to pick with you.
A bone to pick.
Oh my God, I go to the Park Slope location on Friday. Probably felt like the 13th. I don't know if it was. It probably was. Trying to go to Delaware for some shows that evening. I'm cruising, right? I was like, I have a job. I need to go at my own leisure. I'm going to rent my own car and drive down there because I have meetings, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Show up at 1:00. I'm like, surely this will be plenty of time for me to grab a car and head on over, do my meeting, and then drive out. Stand there for 1 calendar hour.
United States?
In
American?
the United Eastern Standard Time hour. I am standing in line at the Hertz. There are two... These employees that were working there, they were like... when you're young and old at the same time, like the stress had taken over their bodies and you just couldn't tell what age they were anymore. They had just become one with the stress of the Hertz location. They're trying to type into the system. They know how to use technology.
Yeah.
They're not like 50. I work with some idiots.
Well, first of all, I remember one time when you were trying to get a car, some other time that we were going away, and you were like, the median age of the person working here is Joe Biden's age.
So that was a special. I should have learned my lesson because that was at LaGuardia Airport. Go fuck yourself, LaGuardia Airport. I go to that Hertz, and everybody behind the counter, it was like a senior citizens like hiring
some sort of work program they have for elderly people.
And they couldn't use the computers. So I, like an idiot, assumed, oh, this must be like the senior citizens who can't use the computers, and they're going so slow, and it took me an hour and a half to get a car there. But I was like, oh, like it's got to be like, you know, it wasn't like the A team on. Now we go to Park Slope. These two folks were not senior citizens. And they were struck. They were fighting for their life to get a contract to run through the system. Mind you, we had all checked in. We were all gold members. Everybody in this place was a gold member.
If everyone's a gold member, no one's a gold member.
No one is a gold member.
Okay.
And I stood there for an hour, gave up, had to go to a meeting, went back, waited for another hour. They had run out of cars. They had no more cars.
No, you're kidding.
Yeah. So I had to take a train.
What? And they gave you obviously no refund or anything because you didn't pay anything.
I didn't pay anything, so they were just like, "Bye." I didn't get paid. I didn't have to like pay a cancellation fee for booking and canceling.
This is like
thank you, Hertz. Thanks for your kindness.
This is literally like exactly that Seinfeld episode where he's like, I think you know how to take the reservation. Anybody can just take a reservation, but you don't know how to hold the reservation.
Exactly.
Do you understand?
Damn, that guy's good. That was exactly what I was feeling. It was madness to the point where I was just like, everybody was on each other's team.
Yeah.
Like we had unionized
as
customers. We were all just like, we're in this together, I think.
That's crazy.
I was so upset, and I like, whatever, it was fine. I ended up taking the train for like $1 billion.
Yeah.
Got down there, literally walked in like 10 minutes after the show had started. But thankfully they were like, I was texting with the producers. And they were like, we don't know what to tell you. Like,
we get it.
Thanks for coming, and it made my set fine. And Delaware, that's a real place. Had no idea.
Isn't that crazy? I've actually never, I think I might have said this on the pod before. I've never met a single soul from Delaware. If we have any fans from Delaware, please write
Hit us up.
I will interview on the pod. Is like, what's it like being the only person to ever be from Delaware?
You must be a celebrity, I assume.
Yeah.
I was in Wilmington the first night, which that at least I've heard of because of taxes, right? Every single corporation is headquartered in Wilmington. I thought it was fake. Like I didn't really know that there was like actual buildings
Businesses.
there.
No,
I
yeah,
was,
no,
I thought it was
just-
one shell company.
Right.
And maybe it is.
Maybe
I
it
don't know.
is.
But there were people that came out that were lovely. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Then I went to Lewis, Delaware. There's 2 places.
Oh, wow.
You can go to another place.
Is there another place there? No. Those are the only two.
Those must be. I mean, I don't know. They were an hour and a half apart. I was like, what?
Yeah, where is this?
Where the fuck am I?
That's crazy.
And that one was a really fun show.
Awesome.
So much fun.
Wow.
Like a lovely amount of people. They were all, laughing at my jokes, which is a huge piece of what I need for me to like someone.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I had a gynecologist that was cracking up at my jokes. I have no idea how she is as a doctor. She could be the worst doctor in all of the city. I'm going to go back to her. Definitely.
Absolutely.
I'm going to
need
make
that
more
name.
appointments than necessary.
I'm going to be workshopping. I'm going to be like, I have an open mic. Open.
Yeah. Open my mic. Get it? Yeah. All right. Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's my pip and promoted.
Okay. Cool.
Gotta say it. I like this section because I do love complaining.
Oh, it's the
Notice
best.
how my pip was way longer than my promo.
Yeah, right.
I was like, I could bitch about this for a minute.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking hurts.
All right. Should we get into our stories?
Yeah. Wanna kick us off?
Yes. Laura, here's what. Why the fuck does the NYPD have a dance team?
No. You know what pisses me off?
How bad they are, too? They're very bad.
If you're gonna make me pay taxes to fund the police's dance team, I'm going to need you to bring it on.
Well, okay. Well, yes. But to be fair, they are dancing while they're off duty. It's like a book club.
Okay, so it's a
kind
club.
of thing. But I
Okay.
think what is fucking hilarious about it is I was like, okay, let's see what they got here. And they are extremely, extremely bad dancers. Like you and I could easily be on the NYPD
Oh, that's not good.
team. Yeah.
Oh, NYPD dance team. That's not a good.
It's crazy.
It's not good for you.
Like-
That's wild to hear. You know what? Honestly, that actually kind of bothers me even more than if I was paying for it.
Yeah.
I would almost rather give you a couple $100 and oh no.
Wait, take a look at this. I mean, this is rudimentary skills.
Oh, ladies busting it
And
down.
a lot of them are not white, which you would think they would be based on these dance moves. I mean, this
We
is
could do it.
I mean, this is extremely poor dancing.
You know what sucks is the news was like aware that we weren't going to like this. And they were like, run the story. Run the story anyway. This is going to go well.
Oh my God, by the way, remember when you had this theory that they were putting like super hot cops at the front of protests and shit?
I fully stand by that theory.
It's a pretty good one.
Because I go about my normal life and the NYPD are medium, kind of the normal gradient of attractiveness. I went to one of those protests and I was like, I want to fuck all of these cops.
Really? Okay.
What is happening? All of them are models. What's going on?
So me and Mark were walking out of West 4th today, and I was just like walking, minding my own business. And Mark was like, did you just see that? And I was like, no, what? He was like, look at that cop. I turned around. There was like a Victoria's Secret model cop. He was like, she was like glowing. She had like glass skin, like a slick back bun. She looked like a clean influencer girly.
Of course she's in the village.
But she was just wearing an NYPD with like a gun, and she heard us say it because she was like, oh yeah. And she was probably like, I get this all the time. And she like looked over at us and I was like, what the fuck? Why are you a cop? Why is the most stunning person I've ever seen on social media now a cop?
You stop her. You're like, ma'am, you're under arrest.
Yeah,
you need to quit your job.
You're under arrest for not dropping the skincare routine, girly, because what the hell? Like, you're out here fighting crime and fighting
I'm
dull
trying to fight
skin.
dull skin. Yeah.
Totally.
I need you to.
By the way, I'm probably on PIP from Tribeca Med Spa, which is where I went today for the second time to get Sculptra, and I chickened out the first time, and then a week later I chickened out once again, and the woman was like,
Did you get Botox?
I got Botox.
Oh, all right. They can suck it.
But she was definitely like, oh my God, this fucking girl is just wasting my time again.
Well, I mean, you would have had to see her for Botox anyway. It doesn't take very long.
That's true.
But I'll fight him for you. Don't
Okay,
worry.
good.
They've taken so much of my goddamn money.
I know.
I don't wanna
I
hear it.
wonder if that really hot cop is on the dance team, number one. And number two goes to Tribeca Med Spa.
Probably to both of them.
Yeah.
In which case, they probably should have put her in the front of the video. Maybe half the team, because it's probably a decent sized team. Maybe half of them are fine, but the journalists were like, you know, all
Let's
cops
do
are
the
bastards. Let's
Yeah.
film the ones who are not very good.
Right. It's kind of funny. What a lame way for the police to be like, oh, let's get some more PR out there. Like, see, we're human. We're having a dance team. And everyone's like, boo, hiss.
What has been the reaction online?
I mean, people are just making fun of it because
Yeah.
people are like, what Why do we need to know this information?
Yeah, first, ABC 7, get more stories.
To be honest, I'm less mad about this than I am about the dancing nurses, though. The dancing nurses, girl,
the ones who dance like during their shifts and stuff. Yeah, I get that.
Go ahead and file some paperwork or like do some. If you have some downtime, work my case.
Check
okay?
on a patient.
Look at my fucking x-rays. Change my bedpan.
Who I do really like are the dancing FedEx versus UPS drivers. Have you seen that?
No, I have not.
They like dance battle each other, and then the Amazon workers and stuff like that. That's very fun.
That is fun.
Because they have a hard job. They have a harder job than all these. Those are frontline workers. Those are heroes.
Dude.
And they're very good at dancing. They
yeah.
crush.
Yeah. I wonder... Yeah, like the more sanctimonious your job, the worse dancer you are. But the nurses aren't that bad.
Yeah.
They're pretty good.
The nurses are okay. The
Right?
UPS drivers were like legitimately good, like break dancing and
Yeah.
stuff. And you're like, damn, you should consider that as a career versus this.
I wish I could dance.
Oh, for sure.
I would way rather be a good dancer than singer because singing as an adult is
Embarrassing.
Like, embarrassing unless you're literally doing it for money.
Once I went to a bar with a bunch of theater kids.
No, please.
Love them individually.
Okay.
As a group, theater kids get this energy that must be stopped. It must be.
Yeah.
We go to the bar and they started singing at a normal bar Broadway tunes.
No, please.
And I'm sitting there like mortified. I was dying. I was like, I will pay you money to stop. Please make this stop right now.
I will pay you the first money you've ever been paid in musical theater to stop singing.
I cannot believe I'm with this group. I'm like looking at the other bar people. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh my God.
It's a random, like, they don't, can you imagine?
No.
I didn't sign up for this. This isn't karaoke night. I'm trying to have a glass of wine with my friend.
So embarrassing.
And this table is singing.
No, can't do it. I feel like everyone has that one friend too that is just like extremely good at singing. They're like, maybe like we should like, I don't know, maybe like go to karaoke. I don't know, something like that.
Always trying to slip that into plans.
Yeah, and then
Happy
they get up there
birthday.
and like sing the most intense like Lady Gaga song you've ever heard in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, you need to just go to karaoke solo. It's fine.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good idea. It's like going to an open mic.
Yeah.
Except everyone's wicked drunk. And yeah.
I'm
Which is a
bad
better
singer.
vibe than an open mic.
Oh, for sure. I hosted a karaoke night for a little bit.
You did? I didn't know that.
Yeah, because they had me do sets,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
which was fun.
yeah.
Because it was like, these people were down to hang.
Mhm.
They were a good time. And then I could do little riffs on like that was great. I usually try to keep it pretty positive, and sometimes you just be like, whoa.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, good job. Never again. You're banned.
Yeah. God bless.
No, it was fun.
Maybe I'll do my second one and then you can get into your
Yeah,
more meaty
mine's
one.
a little longer, so we can.
Okay,
knock it
cool.
out.
So you guys might have heard about this on X, actually, because Gina Carano famously was fired from The Mandalorian. She's like, she's been branded anyway. I don't know if she is or whatever. Well,
Right, we
yada,
don't
yada.
know her
She's been
personally.
branded as a alt-right person, and she was fired from Disney's Mandalorian for saying essentially that the mask mandates and vaccine mandates were akin to like Nazi Germany. That's essentially what she said. That's not like it's not like a unique take. I think I've heard a lot of right-wing people say something in that vein. Anyway, so the actress claims that the entertainment giant discriminated against her for voicing certain opinions on hot button issues, which they totally did, to be fair. Like, there's like a left-wing point of view, a right-wing point of view, and she was going right wing and they were like, we don't like that, you're out of here.
Yeah.
So basically she's suing them, and the person behind all of her finances for said suing is none other than Elon Musk.
Interesting.
Yeah. So he's like really wants to take them down, I guess, because he totally disagrees with this. And one of the reasons that people are really bringing this to the forefront as well is that recently, what's his face? Pedro Pascal.
Mm-hmm.
Where did it go? I know. Oh, here it is. He tweeted this. So he tweeted losers in 1865, which was the Confederate flag. He said losers in 1945. It's the Nazi symbol, which is like, yo, you're just posting the Nazi symbol. Like, maybe take it down a notch. And then losers in 2020, and it's a Make America Great Again hat. And she's saying,
once again, different energy. Like, I get what he's saying, but like,
yeah.
Do you remember what they really did?
I know.
Like millions of people.
No, they don't remember. I also think like, a lot of people that villainize people that voted for Trump haven't met a lot of people that voted for Trump. Like,
No, of course.
my brother voted for Trump. He's a super nice, very smart guy. He would never think in a million years that he voted for Trump. He has his reasons, just like a lot of other people have their reasons for voting however they vote. And so it's like, you can't blanket statement say...
Oh my God, I was about to say the same thing.
Blanket statement.
Yes.
But you can't blanket statement say every single person on the right is a Nazi or is a
Literally,
Confederate soldier. That's what he's making it seem like. And so basically Elon's point, Gina's point, is that he is saying something equally as offensive, but he's not getting punished for it.
Yeah. Okay. I can see their
So-
point. I can definitely see the logic behind that. I'm not sure what laws they're breaking. I guess Disney, like an anti-discrimination, but like on the basis of
it's going to be
what?
hard to prove that. Also, it's like it's a privately owned company, so it's like,
Sure.
it's not like. But so I would be interested to see how this plays out. I think mostly like a lot of the things that Elon does is just to like make a big splash and make a big like.
Oh yeah, he abandons a lot of
to-do
projects
about it.
midway too. So watch out.
I
Gina.
know. You know,
It's also a risk for her career. I mean, I hate
her
to say
career
it,
is
but
like already kind of gone though.
oh, I guess in that case, not a
Yeah.
risk.
Yeah, I mean, she's never gonna work in some sort of mainstream thing probably ever again. Like she's worked on a lot of like, funded by Ben Shapiro movies now because she's been forced into this corner where she has to be like this person for
Interesting.
the right. So it's a very interesting ethical debate, philosophical debate.
I wonder, like, I'm mostly curious how this will legally, go through. Like, what is Disney allowed to do in this situation?
It probably won't. They won't lose, will they?
No.
I don't know.
I don't know. Here's the thing. Disney has a really good legal team. There is no way they haven't thought about this already and built it into their contracts with the actors or with all their different staff that like there's a clause in there that they can get you out for whatever reason. So but I'm definitely curious to see how this all goes through.
Yeah. I mean, it'll definitely be interesting. She said in a statement, she said, some of us have been unjustly singled out, harassed, persecuted, and had our livelihoods stripped away because we dared to encourage conversation, ask questions, and refused to go along with the mob. So obviously, like, riddled within that is a lot of like talking points, you get it. But like, I think when you call something like the mob, it kind of like negates the thing that you're trying to say. But I do get what she's saying, is my point.
Yeah. Also, like, I mean, Trump did get in office, so when you say go along with the mob, like, didn't he kind of win? Like,
Yeah.
you could argue.
Well, not
It's
the
kinda
second
majority.
time, but
Oh yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
But either way, it's not like, it seems to be, it's a close one. How about that? It seems
Right.
rather even split.
Yeah, but I will say the people at Disney, the people at
Absolutely.
Netflix, the people at that, like they're more of the left
That
side
is
of
definitely
things,
for
so.
sure. The industry she chose is for sure overrepresented on a group that does not necessarily agree with. What's funny is I'm sure she agrees on almost everything else.
Yeah.
Almost everything else.
I mean, again, we do not know this woman, but yeah. I mean, it's just interesting. Yeah. We'll see how it plays out.
Well,
I thought
let's
that was
go
a fun story. That was of course Elon's doing this.
Of course, yeah, no, and Elon's of course like trying to just hop into the fray,
Into the chaos.
while he's at it.
All right, cool. I'm excited for your story.
Yeah, this is a really good jump off point so this might be, kind of a questionable lawsuit against a company. This is not a questionable lawsuit against a company. This is proven absolute chaos behavior on the part of eBay. I am fully shocked. When I was reading this story, I was like, how the fuck did this all happen and I not know about it more? Because it's got everything. It's got drama. It's got a pig fetus. There's
A pig fetus.
Yes. So let's go back a little bit. eBay, we know it. It's a great company, whatever. They were, cruising along, doing themselves. They're a public company. January 2019, Elliott Management, which is an activist hedge fund group, purchased a significant investment in eBay and then sent
An activist hedge fund group.
I know.
What does that mean?
It means I think that they're like technically there's some sort of piece in their charter that they need to do net positive for the world. Now, what does that mean? Who knows? Unfortunately, this podcast has made me rather cynical. At this point.
No, totally.
So
I'm
even-
like, you mean one of those EAs or what are they called?
Effective altruist.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Probably involved in some way. I didn't look too much into Elliott Management beyond the fact that you need to know they purchased a significant investment in eBay, and they were saying that eBay is not doing very well and needs to perform better. Okay. that's kind of the background for this whole thing. Going into e-commerce bites, which is a newsletter that is about people who are selling on platforms like eBay, not just eBay, Amazon Marketplace, I think even like Facebook Marketplace, like any of those different, like there's people who hold businesses are selling things on those websites.
Yeah.
So
By the way, we'll be selling our couch. So if anybody's interested in a brown leather couch and lives in New York,
there you go.
come feel free to drop me a line.
Check
me out.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Continue.
Anyway, you could maybe contact e-commerce bites and see if they will give you feedback on how to list it on eBay. It's one of those really niche websites that's really meant for a very specific group of people, but for those people, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Because it's where people like kind of discuss new policies, new ways like the payments or structure, whatever. It's run by a couple in Massachusetts, Ina and David Steiner. They are in their 60s. Look at them.
Cute.
They look like a cute little couple. They're in Natick, Massachusetts.
I know Natick.
Yeah. How's Natick?
It's great. I think
you
it's
go.
like relatively South Shore-ish.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, they seem happy. Look at them. And they launched this website in 1999. Today it has some 600,000 monthly visitors.
Damn.
I know. So
Oh.
it's like a big deal.
Yeah. Is
Like-
it? Okay, yeah.
I think that's a pretty big deal for like an e-commerce website.
Right.
That there's a lot of people that sell on these websites, but it's not that many, you know?
So
So it's like most of the marketplace is
Yeah.
represented here.
So it's an eBay competitor or an
No,
eBay analysis?
It's just a newsletter.
It's just a newsletter.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shitload of fucking people
Yeah.
visiting. If
It's
just a
basically
newsletter.
like if, you know, a comedy newsletter, like just
Oh,
reporting on the
wow.
news of comedy or something
Okay.
along those lines, which would actually be pretty good.
Yeah.
And so vast majority of the people on this website are people who make a living selling on eBay and other sites like it. They're the only staff members. This is actually really cute. David sees to the business side, and Ina is their reporter and writer. It's, you know, they have this like little like
I
you know,
love it.
Bought their little house in Natick. They run their little e-commerce website. Their Natick home is a charming colonial with a gable roof close to the street that looks like a gingerbread house in winter.
I love.
Adorable.
Why don't I live like this?
I love them. They've got their they're entrepreneurs. So
Yeah.
they've got their little side hustle as part of the marketplace ecosystem. And as you can imagine, they have to do some like reporting on these groups. It's not always positive. Originally, they had a pretty decent relationship with eBay. In 2009, they had discovered that an eBay executive had created anonymous accounts on their site to post comments criticizing the coverage, presumably to discredit them in the eyes of their readers. And then eventually after that, they started reporting the site as a phishing site. This was kind of the beginning of their deterioration of the communications. Like prior to that, they had been able to like write to the eBay people, be like, hey, do you want to comment on this? Or like,
Interesting.
can you explain this new policy to us? After the company started kind of poking at them, the relationship really deteriorated because they had been trying to like get e-commerce sites taken off the web. Yeah. So we know that eBay is, Elliott Management had come in and was saying eBay needs to be performing better as a public company. One of the things that they said is like, despite its remarkable history as one of the world's largest e-commerce platform, eBay as a public company investment has underperformed both its peers and the market for a prolonged period of time.
Oh, no.
They wrote this whole letter, and basically the underlying message of that letter is like, for the kind of changes they wanted to happen at eBay,
Yeah.
they would need to replace the CEO.
Oh.
Yeah. So
The CEO is like, hey, fuck yourself.
go fuck yourself.
Random people.
I think we're doing great.
Yeah.
So this brings in a very important piece of this puzzle. David Wenig, who lives near here in
really?
off Flatbush in Brooklyn.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Kind of weird. If you see him at the coffee shop, boo this guy.
Oh, he stinks?
He stinks.
Okay.
So David is the CEO, or the former now CEO of
he got
eBay.
canned.
He got canned.
Because of this Massachusetts couple or what? Real what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So David,
stop interrupting.
No. I love that. It brings flavor to the whole thing. It helps me clarify. So you know this is not another eBay. This is just a newsletter. Can you imagine?
Wow.
So after eBay or Elliott had published this letter, he's like fucking paranoid, as you can imagine. And in his brain, he's like convinced that the reason they're after him is because of this newsletter and like criticism that they had been giving to eBay.
Yeah.
And he was like, fuck Ina. Like Ina is like out for my job kind of deal. He's trying to.
That's so funny.
Yeah. In April 2019, Ina had written a story saying that Wenig's annual compensation was 152 times greater than that of the median eBay employee.
Yeah, but he is the CEO. I mean, 152 is a lot, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying, you know.
I know what you mean for sure.
Yeah.
And the facts are the facts. Like, it is 152 times greater.
Yeah.
Whether that's like appropriate or not is up for consideration.
Right.
I think her point was that why is he getting paid a pretty handsome sum when, according to Elliott Management and others in the marketplace, this is a company that's been underperforming.
I see.
And they had also other gripes with them, like as sellers on the platform. They were like, your tech sucks. I don't give it, like other reasons that are kind of boring. But needless to say, a reasonable thing for a news article to be about. You know?
Right. I did see it. So it was actually, this is kind of the same point, is that this girl posted on Instagram, and she was like, the McDonald's CEO makes this times more than their lowest employee. Isn't that fucked up? And I was like, well, there's different. What? No. I was like, so your argument is that everyone at McDonald's should make the same amount. What do you mean? Like, not everyone in my company makes the same amount of money. I would assume my CEO is making much more money.
That would
than
be
me.
really concerning if your CEO win minimum wage.
Yeah, like I don't
minimum
understand.
wage.
I don't understand what that argument is. Am I like stupid or something? I was like, I don't understand this.
I definitely think that. Yeah, you're totally right. Like, out the gate here was one of those things where I'm like, if he's being paid appropriately or not, who knows? He was definitely getting paid less than other CEOs. He's getting paid more than some others. Should it be tied to performance? Probably. Definitely. At the end,
I mean, it definitely should be. Yeah, but the McDonald's CEO, he should be killing it.
Yeah, they're crushing it.
Or
she.
Or they.
Either way, his response to this entire situation is not appropriate, no matter what, especially with the amount that he's getting paid. Maybe you take a couple on the chin, you know?
Okay.
Them's the breaks. You got to take a few of these stories and just say, like, well, I'm getting paid whatever it was, $18 million a year.
You have to be the adult in the room.
You're going to be the adult.
A couple in Massachusetts are saying, hey, you're overpaid. You have to say, hey, yeah, okay, I'll sit in my fucking $18 million house and
I'll think about it.
Eat my lobster and contemplate.
I will consider your stance. So instead, what he decides to do is immediately text a link of the story to his chief communications officer, Steve Weimer. Now, please look at the image of these two men.
I'm looking.
They look like canonical bad guys.
They really do. Especially the guy on the right. He looks like a robot bad guy.
Yeah, he does. That's Steve
that is
Weimer.
A tight jawline.
I will
think he
say,
got Sculptra?
Probably. And also, something bad about me, I'm kind of into Steve Weimer at the same time. He's pretty attractive.
I mean, that jawline, it's going to cut glass. I mean, my God.
It's a good jawline. He looks like a superhero.
He does. He looks like he could play somebody in The Boys.
Yes, he definitely does.
Yeah, I mean,
we're like gassing him up right now. He's also a bad guy in the story, by the way.
Okay, yeah, sexy bad guy. That makes him even more mysterious and dark. Am I right?
He's a fucking horrible person.
Actually, both of them are pretty hot, to be honest.
Yeah, this is a bad picture of Devin, but over here, like,
yeah,
you know.
You know, it's
not great. It's not great that I'm attracted to this kind of persona. What the hell's wrong with me?
In my mind, when you were like, yeah, he makes like $18 million, I was like, he does? Like literally, like my heart fluttered. I was like, "Oh my God, he's like so close to us right now. He's in Flatbush.
Oh my God, he's like not far away. We should try to find him.
Should we go
be like,
dance in front of his window or something?"
You are definitely gonna take this back when you hear the rest of what these guys get into, because these guys are like, you know, so they obviously look this way, and looks can be deceiving. Blah blah blah. Like, you know, Matthew looks like that, but he's autistic. You know, so like, like it's like different. You know, you're like, what's underneath the surface?
He does. You love a strong jaw.
Oh, I love a strong jaw.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't?
I'm a big fan. Yeah. But these guys are also like true assholes. Like they're the kind of like New York hardo, like watch Wolf of Wall Street for inspiration.
Okay.
Not
my best. Not the best, yeah.
Like they're like, oh, that's like awesome, which I kind of get that in like a certain way, but on the flip side, you're like, you got to remember, like, they fucked up the economy. Like,
yeah.
The moral of the story is it's bad.
Just relax. Yeah.
Though if Leo doing one of these,
oh yeah,
I mean,
that is fun.
Or
Matthew McConaughey too.
Yeah.
Good times. Matthew McConaughey.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, that was Matthew in that.
No, but I think they both did it.
Yeah.
At the end.
Okay.
But Matthew McConaughey never recovered from $1 Million or Dallas Buyers Club because he had to lose all that weight, and then he still looks weird. It's crazy.
I mean, that I think he didn't realize, like, your youth, you can do that kind of shit.
Yeah.
And he is getting older.
Maybe he's just aging, and I'm like, he doesn't look the same as he did in his 20s.
Have we talked about when I read his book? Did you read his book?
No, I would love to. Actually,
Have we talked about this on the pod?
No, I wish I had bought the book because I was in a bookstore today.
Oh my God.
Brag.
I will say
And,
that. Yeah, okay.
I bought Breath Becomes Air. Do you know that book?
No.
Is that what it's called? Whatever the fuck. It's a book about somebody who's dying. Obviously.
Sounds terrible.
Yeah.
I'll say it. It sounds really bad. I read Matthew McConaughey's book. Actually, I listened to it because I wanted to hear him read it. And it's basically him just bragging about his life and being awesome the whole time, but I'm still into it.
Yeah.
He's like, I experienced very little adversity.
Wait, really? I fucking love that. I love the honesty. Good for him.
He does kind of like try to hype up like some stuff that sounds like kind of bad. Like he like went to Australia for like an exchange program and was housed with some weirdos.
Oh, wow.
But they didn't like do anything bad to him. They were just like weird as fuck. And like that was the main like.
He's like, I had a bad roommate once.
Yeah, I had a bad room. It was a bad time. They were just weird. Did they do anything? No. They were just like kind of pushy.
That's fucking hilarious.
It was great. I loved the book. Honestly, it was inspiring, but I was just like, you've lived a blessed path and I think you're aware.
That's great.
It's great.
Okay.
Keep doing more stuff. I'll keep watching, Matthew. It's fine. Where was I? I'm sorry. I just got... Oh, okay. So anyway, back to the bad guys. These guys, attractive, but we don't like them. Ina wrote a story about how they got paid, or he specifically got paid too much. He sends it to Steve, the chief communications officer, and Steve replies, "We are going to crush this lady."
What? Okay.
Relax. Cool it.
Yeah.
1 month later, some other stories came out that continued to piss Devin Winnig off. And he
But there's
fired...
no actual threat to their job at this point, right? Like, it's just some lady on the internet saying, hey, I don't like you guys.
No, which she's absolutely entitled to do.
Yeah, of
And
course.
anyway, he gets so mad that he fires off another text to the communications officer and says, "Take her down."
Take her down. She's just some gray-haired lady in fucking
You're not the Pentagon. Like,
Yeah.
like, cool it, okay?
Yeah.
These guys all watched way too many more war movies, I'll say that. So Weimer is like, hell yeah, we're taking her down. He immediately goes to the security division of eBay, all employees on payroll of the company, maybe call a third party at this point. Nope. He goes and texts with the guy and says, he was texting with Jim Bao, who is the head of the security division, who I'll talk a little bit more about in a minute. And Jim says, if I can neutralize Ina's website in 2 weeks or less, does that work for you? Oh. And Steve replies, I want to see ashes as long as it takes, whatever it takes.
Okay, wow.
Everyone, cool it.
Like,
they do not cool it. Spoiler alert, they in fact negative cool it.
Is this like the first time anyone's ever talked shit about you guys? Are you kidding me?
I mean, it literally must be.
Yeah, it's like
literally must be.
That's what the internet
does
is now for. You post a fucking photo thinking you look nice and someone comments underneath, hey, horse face, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And I'm just like, thanks for the engagement.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Appreciate the algorithm bump, you know?
Totally.
8 days after this take her down message was sent, a member of the security team flew across the country and drove to the Steiners' home and scrawled the word Fido Master, like graffitied it across their white picket fence.
What the fuck does Fido Master mean?
Fido Master is like this, it kind of goes a little bit too deep, but basically that's some inside baseball about one of the commenters who was like big time on the e-commerce website. Oh. So it was like this like thing to like really indicate to them that this was related to their newsletter. It's not like just a random neighborhood kid just being like, whore, like right. something random. Needless to say, quite the first strike, definitely got their attention, and an inappropriate thing for people to be doing for their company. If your company says, hey, can you go do graffiti on this web, like this people that
specifically to intimidate them.
Specifically to intimidate them. And it gets 100% worse.
That's some like just Tiger King shit. That feels like something that the Tiger King would do to like Carol Baskin.
Yeah, and he's addicted to drugs for sure.
Yeah. Oh my God.
These guys probably also are. But
yeah. Well, they're definitely as addicted to whatever like steroids or something, keeping that jawline tight,
yeah,
and muscles popping.
I think he's just getting facelifts.
Oh yeah.
Maybe he's hitting Tribeca Med Spa.
Maybe he's at Tribeca Med Spa. They're like, bitch, you're not. They just show me before and after. It's him.
I'm like, I'm in.
Yeah.
Whatever he's doing, sign me up.
Really good.
Okay, so Jim, I'm going to do a little aside to kind of explain some of the inside baseball and what's going on with the security team, like why they were all of a sudden just like, yeah, that's totally fine. Put me on the flight. Can I be upgraded at least if I'm going to go do a crime? I'm going to go do a small crime.
I'm gonna go vandalize this random elderly couple's home.
What
In their home.
What? Why is that? I didn't have that on my resume as like special skills, but like
They're like, yo, can you just like throw a swastika on there too? Like throw them for the loop, you know what I mean?
literally.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jim Bao is the guy who like organized the strike. Like, what are we doing? He's a stocky, middle-aged guy with thinning hair. First of all, that's a quote from the New York Times.
That's hilarious.
Cool it, New York
He's
Times.
like, okay, what? I was gonna get plugs. My wife told me not to.
I was
Now
busy
The New
working
York
hard.
Times is telling me how balding I am.
He would often say he used to work for the CIA. Sometimes he said his wife was working for the CIA right now. Once he found a knife on a barbecue grill on campus at the workplace campus.
Yeah.
And he said a deranged person could have used this to hurt someone and stabbed it into a chair in front of his entire team.
What the hell
That
is
was
going
reported
on?
in multiple sites. So like that's a real
That
thing that
definitely
happened.
then.
Because the analysts were all like, why are we stabbing things? I'm at work.
Yeah.
Someone's stabbing a chair.
I don't know what's going on at
Yeah.
this. This is eBay.
I need you all to remember this is a real company in
That we all know.
2019 that we know. You may have ordered from eBay in 2019.
That's
This is the
so
shit that was
funny.
going down. He would apparently he had a team of like, I don't know, 10 analysts or something. And he would frequently bring them into the conference room for movie night or for movie scenes where they would watch scenes from American Gangster, where Denzel Washington coolly executes a man in front of a crowd to make a point.
Okay.
Or a clip from Wolf of Wall Street, where the
No.
feds are investigating shady deeds, but none of the perpetrators can recall a thing. Like they're obviously,
Yeah.
covering. Or another bit from Meet the Fockers about a retired CIA agent's circle of trust, where he goes on that circle of trust
Yeah.
rant.
Right,
Great movie, actually. All three great movies. But
Wow.
if my boss is trying to get me to watch specifically those scenes, like it's clearly a message
Yeah.
behind that.
The things that they idolize, the things that they find important, strange.
Right.
Okay.
Why am I doing this on workplace hours?
Yeah.
The
I should be selling software.
Yeah. Hello.
Something
Busy.
like that.
The female members of his team, including Veronica Zay, who we'll talk about in a little bit more, were known as Jim's Angels. Like,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
The guy wants to work for the CIA so damn bad. And they were probably like, you're crazy. You obviously can't work for us because you're crazy.
Yes.
And he's like, great, I'll be at eBay.
Right.
Making it like the CIA when there's no reason. You guys sell things online.
Mm-hmm.
You sell Bay's couch online. Like,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Hopefully.
Miss Zay was actually one of the ones who was featured in the New York Times story because she gets pretty deeply involved and implicated in all of this. And we'll talk more about her. But she was a contract worker originally. Her ambition was to be hired by eBay itself. And as a result, she was working like, she was very, very eager to like, yes them and like be a
Yeah.
good employee. And she wanted to be brought on full time. Like she probably was getting paid well, but like didn't have any of the benefits, no health insurance, things like that. She was hyper aware that this was like a big pivotal point. She's very young too. I think they didn't say exactly, but I think it was implied that she was basically like fresh out of college type thing. Mm-hmm. So doing the damn thing. It was her responsibility to track persons of interest, so individuals who might pose a danger to eBay, and rank them in a threat matrix, which at first I was like, that's insane, that's a job.
Yeah.
But then actually there was a point in the article where they were like, to be fair, like, do you remember when they did that shooting at the YouTube offices?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Really crazy. If
Yeah.
you don't recall, there was like, I think 3 person. Did they die or they get just shot?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Let's
Either
go with just
way,
shot. Either
yeah.
way, like it is fair that you need to have physical security at your offices. Totally fair. And you probably should keep an eye on people who might be upset.
Or people that just got fired, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, what was that about, by the way? There was like a YouTuber that was deplatformed or something like that.
I don't know.
That was-
Maybe we should look that up, except for it's kind of really dark.
Oh, it's super dark. But
I think it would still be interesting to talk about, respectfully, of course. You know?
Yeah, totally. It's also so sick that how many shootings there are that I'm like, I don't remember the details. And I'm like, what is
I know,
wrong
and
with-
that's like such a. They're all crazy.
Yeah,
whatever.
horrible.
That's a whole other.
Yeah. Aside.
Anyway, that was her job, was to kind of keep an eye on people and For whatever reason, Ina, one of the people, they did not like her. She's
Hated
not
her.
going to shoot anyone up. Let me tell you that. She might write that you shouldn't be paid as much as you are, or maybe you should be paying the sellers more, whatever. There are usually 6 analysts, but turnover was high. She noticed that men were becoming scarce. By May 2018, the group was entirely female.
Weird.
Women also got fired, and afterwards the survivors would whisper about why. One departed analyst had been reprimanded for not smiling in front of the executives.
What?
Another was let go because she sang to keep herself awake during the night shift. A third because she chewed on her pen.
What?
So I think what's really important to note about this is that they had been specifically curating this group of, or Jim Bao himself was curating a group of people who worked directly for him on the security team that were going to do what he said.
Yeah.
And were acutely aware that if they went out of line even a tiny, tiny bit, they'd be axed. And Veronica, like, listen, I get it. Like, you need a job.
Yeah.
She was down, just doing the damn thing.
Damn, that's crazy.
She hated her job. She would often call her mother and cry about how much she hated it. It had been really sadistic. Once a guard had pulled all of the analysts' personal possessions out of their lockers and dumped them in trash bags to teach them that they could not expect privacy at work.
Jesus, fuck.
And then they watched a clip about locker discipline from the Vietnam film Full Metal Jacket.
All right. I mean, what the hell?
Like, this is
it's a job. I go to work at eBay.
I work at eBay, and it's not like I'm not a Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
Like, cool it.
Yeah.
This is her.
Okay. There she
Looks
is.
like a lady.
Yep.
Okay. So at this point, we have the idea of there's been this initial graffiti incident. Sure, we don't love it, but fine.
Yeah.
Fine. The security team is this group of women who are, I don't want to say brainwashed because not quite. I think they were I don't want to give it fully there, but they were very much influenced and in this little cult of having to do whatever they said and kind of not being rational maybe about a lot of stuff. So in August 1st, Ina, that girl, wrote another post about some lawsuit eBay had filed against Amazon. Whatever. It was just a couple of paragraphs and contained only a light note of skepticism about Devin Weinig's, the CEO's strategy. He was fucking furious.
Really?
33 minutes after the article went up, he texted Weimer again, if you are ever going to take her down, now is the time.
I love when rich people get fixated on
It's
something.
so funny. Like,
It is
go
very
to a
funny.
psychiatrist.
I know.
It is time.
You know what's funny is
It
that
is time.
I am like a grudge holder. Like, whoa. If you cross me, like
You are.
I will be nice to your face, but God,
I will hear about it.
bless. Am I fucking
And
holding a
another
grudge?
thing.
I am such a grudge holder. So like, I'm like at this point in the story, I relate as fuck to these guys. Like, cause I get so
And
mad.
Here's the thing. If they want to text each other and be pissed,
Yeah.
that's fine. Go
Right.
off. Like, that is everything except for the graffiti at this point. I don't love it, but like, you're allowed. You're allowed to be upset. You're
Yeah.
allowed to vent. You're allowed to do all this thing.
Sure.
What they do from here, holy fuck no. So he texts him, take her down, now is the time. He replies on it and then texts Mr. Bao, the security guide, hatred is a sin. I am very sinful.
What
They
the
think they're in a movie. They for
Yeah,
sure think they're in a
yeah.
movie. Mr. Bao signaled that he was ready to escalate. He goes, amen. I want her done. She is a biased troll who needs to get burned down.
Okay, it's really not the end of the world. Like, she's some lady chatting
She's
about
a woman-
e-commerce. Like, it's not going to take down eBay. eBay is too
Fine.
big to fail.
She's a woman in her 60s.
Yeah.
Like, relax. And living
Whatever.
in Massachusetts. Okay, so Steve the CEO was going to Italy for a sabbatical for August, of course, because he's an executive and that's what they do. And basically the verdict was that e-commerce bites needed to be gone before he got back. So he's trying to get rid of this website now. So off they go. Of course, over the course of that first week in August, things got crazy for the folks over at e-commerce bites.
Okay.
What's the guy's name? Ina and I don't want to forget Ina and David.
Okay.
Didn't want to forget his name because he's a big player in this whole thing.
Yep.
Ina's the one who writes the articles, but David, he was a big hero as well. So they wake up one August morning to find that someone had just sent them a couple emails from various membership websites, Irritable Bowel Syndrome News, Satanic Temple Membership,
Okay.
and Sin City Fetish Night Newsletter.
Okay.
By the end of the day, they had about 50 subscriptions like that were coming into their inbox.
Jesus.
we don't love it, but like it's fine, right?
Yeah.
They're like, haha, getting
Right.
pranked by someone on our website.
Also,
or,
how does this take her down?
yeah, well, no, don't
Yeah.
worry, it goes
Okay.
crazy. So and also, but you're kind of right because I feel like the way they did this was not smart. We can
Yeah.
discuss the end.
Yeah.
From there, they get another email that says that their wet specimen was ready.
Oh
And
my
we're
God,
asking,
no.
hey, do you want to accept the delivery? So David calls the company. He's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
What's a wet specimen? The rep told him that the wet specimen was a pig fetus that had been embalmed in formaldehyde. Would you like to accept delivery?
Why? No.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I feel bad for the poor rep who's just like, his fucking job
Yeah.
is to ship pig fetuses. He's like, I don't know, dude. Do you want it or not? Like, I don't.
What would be the purpose of shipping a pig fetus? Unless are they like implementing? Are they impregnating a pig with that? Like farmers? Or
Oh
something?
no, I think
Or
these are for like anatomy classes and stuff like that.
Oh.
There's probably other uses for them as well. But like when I was in high school, we dissected a pig fetus.
You did? I
Yeah.
dissected a frog, but not a pig
We did that
fetus.
too. But then
Wow.
I was in like, I don't know. I don't think it was AP, but like one of the more
wow.
advanced classes for anatomy. And they were
That's
like,
so
they were
interesting.
like, we had a whole, it sucked. It was so gross.
I'm sure it was disgusting.
The entire time
yeah.
I was just like, I could have watched a video of this.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to be
yeah.
a doctor. I get if you're trying to be a doctor, but some of the people in
Yeah.
our class were, so I guess like it just felt further along than we really needed.
Yeah, at least
for high
at
school.
least right.
You know?
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
for high
I'm-
school for sure. Yeah,
I'm a girl who is cut into a pig fetus,
I haven't done that.
and
I've eaten a lot of ham. I
did not during that period. I'll tell you
Yeah.
that. I said I'm gonna skip the bacon for a
Get
couple
it.
weeks while we have the pig fetus, while I still smell like formaldehyde.
Yucks.
Okay, so anyway, formaldehyde pig fetus. After that, they received an Amazon package with a shrink-wrapped bloody pig's face.
What the hell?
Dude, I know. This one was wild because the police officer had just been called about all this other stuff because they were like, something's up.
Yeah,
He's
someone's
there.
trying to hurt us.
And they opened the package and he's like, oh, you're not fucking kidding. And this is the Natick police. So it's like their local police force. They probably like, it's not, I don't think a big town. So they probably like
no, small town. Yeah.
had connections to these people. And they were like, damn, y'all are definitely like
Yeah.
being targeted by someone. This ended up actually not being a real pig face. Thank God. It was a Halloween mask from the horror movie Saw.
Still, it's
Not-
ominous as
It's
hell.
extremely ominous. This next one actually though is I think way worse. They shipped them another Amazon package with a book called Grief Diaries: Surviving the Loss of a Spouse.
No, that's not gonna work.
That's a threat, right?
That's a threat. I mean, it's a very like. I feel like you couldn't implicate them in the law threat, but in my mind, that's a threat. Like
Yeah.
clear threat.
Yeah.
The message is
Message
loud
was
and clear.
received, and that was basically
Yeah.
what happened to David. He all of a sudden was just like, oh my God, like now if one of us dies, like, well, we were warned.
Yeah.
I don't know what were they supposed to do here.
Damn, that's freaky.
There's a whole bunch of other stuff that happens. I'll go through these. There was a sex shop that called them because they had received their number as a franchise inquiry.
Okay.
That's kind of fun. They're
Yeah.
entrepreneurs. I don't know.
Yeah.
Start another one.
That's true.
They received a package from a company called Carolina Biological Supply filled with fly larvae and live spiders.
Oh.
That was shipped to them. I know the response to all of them is just like, ooh.
Yeah. Can you believe that you can just do this? You can just
Yeah.
send people fly larvae
You can, and it
and
just shows up,
spiders.
and they have to deal with it.
No, please. That is disgusting. What do you do with that? Do you like just light it
Friends
on
of
fire?
the pod.
I mean, genuinely, I would light it on fire.
I think this is a good place to plug the fact that if you give us 5 stars,
We will send you a gift. It's gonna be not that.
yes, we actually have to brainstorm it right after this session. So you guys will be receiving those pretty soon. Mark my words.
It's gonna be stickers, probably.
It's probably stickers or something.
Yeah,
Like, maybe a little. I'll give it a little more flair than that.
Okay.
We'll see. So it will definitely not be the next package that they received was an unsuspecting flower delivery man showed up at their back door holding a funeral wreath.
Oh my
A
god.
wreath you bring to a grave.
Yikes.
They asked him and they were like, hey, what's up? And he said he had been instructed to leave the wreath at their back door without ringing the bell,
What?
which is creepy. It's
Very.
all so creepy. Like, that's the thing is like, it would just like haunt me a little bit. A
It's-
lot of it.
Well, and also like these people that are sending them are executives. So are they actually doing the sending? Or are they like, hey, executive assistant, can you send
the security team was like sicked on the whole thing. So, and that actually will kind of come up in a little bit. So they had been barricaded in their home. This is all over the course of like a week. So they were like not leaving the house. They were fucking terrified. These are people in their 60s. Like they're just like this quiet couple that runs an e-commerce website.
They're
like,
trying to garden.
Like, God damn, they were stressed out. And the police were trying to help them, but they were like, this is a difficult case. Like you can't stop packages from being delivered.
Right.
And it was very difficult to figure out who was ordering it. So especially when, I don't know if they were able to, in the world of being like on the legal side, prove that this was a situation.
Right.
Yet.
Yeah.
One afternoon, one of their neighbors showed up and had a magazine for them. It was a Hustler magazine, Hustler Barely Legal. So teens.
Barely Legal, yuck.
And it was the neighbor's address, but David's name that was on it. So they were like trying to embarrass and humiliate them in front of their neighbors.
Jesus.
That's pretty fun. This is, though, when things actually start escalating in a little bit more intense of a fashion. That's already pretty intense so far.
Yeah.
So as David is leaving, he's trying to like go and do whatever, some errand or something like that. He noticed he was with a friend, and he noticed he was being tailed by a van from New York. And he goes to the friend. He's like, you're going to think I'm crazy, but we're being followed. So they started like trying to lose the van. The van's fucking like chasing them.
No.
Driving all around. The friend hops out, tries to take a picture of the van, gets like kind of a picture. And this they eventually sent to the police who tried to run it, but one of the it wasn't fully legible, so they weren't able to actually get it processed, which was super annoying.
Yeah. That's crazy.
When he returned home, he was really stressed out. You have to remember, again, man in his 60s, he's had a long ass week. He
I'd say so.
Yeah. The police come, they're trying to like talk to him about how he had like obviously called the policeman, like, we're being followed now. Like, this is getting crazy. And he was apparently having trouble breathing. He couldn't like see straight and stuff like that.
Oh my God.
Ina thought he was having a heart attack, and eventually he started calming down, and like he had been suffering from like a pretty crazy panic attack.
Yikes.
A fair response. Like he's having medical situations. Things are escalating.
Yeah.
Later that same night, another car shows up to their house at 4:30 a.m. David is on one. He's looking out the window, sees the car. They called 911 again. They were yelling at the guy, being like, stay in your car, like go away, whatever. The guy gets out. It's this like balding older man. He walks up. He has he opens the rear door and pulls out a leather case. Mm-hmm. And David's like, oh my fucking God, I think there's a gun in that case.
Oh my God.
He's screaming at him. The guy is walking up to their house. It's like real horror movie stuff.
That's really scary.
He's like yelling like, stop it, drop it. The hand goes to their front gate, opens it, puts the case down, and places them flat on the ground and looks at David and goes, God bless.
What?
And then walks back to the car and leaves. So
what is it?
David goes over, looks to the boxes. There are 2 pizza boxes with pizza in them.
What?
So the eBay folks are like
fucking with them. Yeah.
With these poor Massachusetts e-commerce website runners.
This is so weird.
They sent them a whole bunch of other stuff too, just like to avoid kind of going on this same train for too long. I'm going to summarize. A box of live cockroaches. They put an ad on Craigslist announcing a sex party at their address.
Oh my God.
And apparently it had said like, come on in, like no need to knock.
Yeah.
It's chaos. Then posted another ad on Garage Sale Finder saying that everything must go at their address.
Holy shit.
Eventually he went to go get groceries, so he left the house again and got followed again by another van. This time he was able to get a good license plate photo of it. The cops ID'd the car, and it belonged to Veronica Zay.
Wow.
Yep. So obviously they didn't know who the fuck Veronica Zay was at this point. Bao's team had been like standing there, and we know, like, just because of the podcast, that this was like the person working for eBay. The security team had been flying to Massachusetts regularly, like taking turns. Like either there were going to be a group of them that were cyber stalking them, or the people that were physically stalking them in real life. Apparently every single time they came into town, they were like flying first class, booking rooms at the Ritz-Carlton, like really living it up. This is going to be a movie at some point. Like mark my words. It's great. It's like a
Right.
pretty good story. I hate that this happened in real life. Like, that's insane.
Yeah, I can't believe I didn't hear about this though.
I know.
You know, I'm like, this is really something else.
It's crazy.
If I were the people doing this to this poor couple, I would be so fucking embarrassed by how psycho I got.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this is humiliating.
I mean, don't worry.
Yeah.
Well, kind of worry. So anyway, apparently they had been messaging internally and saying like they were fired up about how freaked out Ina and David were. And they were like, they're seeing ghosts now, LOL. Think everyone is following them and they call the police every 10 minutes. We know the targets have been impacted by this op.
Yeah. Well, you're
You
intimidating
did.
them.
You did a great job.
Yeah.
So anyway, because of this, the Natick police start like policing. Like they'd been trying, but I get it. Like this is a tough one.
Yeah.
And they were able to ID that there was Veronica and realized that there might be like something to do with the company / it also might have something to do with like interstate lines. So they call the FBI and the FBI is able to bring a case forward and realize like, hey, like you guys are stalking this couple.
Yes.
I'm sure there's quite a bit that goes into that investigation. We don't have a ton of the details on, at least I didn't find them. I didn't read the entire case. So sorry. If there's stuff I'm missing here. But needless to say, this ends up coming to a head where they have a case go against eBay saying, you guys, like there's a civil and a criminal lawsuit that they get hit with. eBay hired a lawyer and an outside law firm who they cooperated with all the law enforcement investigations. When they completed their investigation in September 2019, they terminated all involved employees, including the company's former chief communication officer, Weimer. And as for Wenig, the CEO, the company said that while his communications were inappropriate, there was no evidence that he knew in advance about or authorized the actions that were later directed towards the blogger and her husband. He left eBay in September 2019. They said there was numerous considerations leading to his departure with a exit package of $57 million.
Holy shit.
And no charges against him directly.
Wow. That's a pretty good deal.
So obviously you would say if everything comes out about this, he's probably not going to get another job, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, he does. He was reelected to the General Motors board afterwards. And they go, this has nothing to do. When they were asked about this, they go, this has nothing to do with General Motors. We don't care whatsoever.
That's so funny.
Pretty big character flaw, I would say. Maybe keep an eye on the man. Yeah. So who did get in real trouble? Because some people did end up going to jail.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Because they were
Veronica
stalking. Not her, but she definitely got criminally investigated. Senior Director of Safety and Security and what's his name? The Bow guy, James Bow. And this company's former Director of Global Resiliency, David Harvile, who he was involved. This has already been a long ass podcast, so we didn't go into all the details.
Okay.
So James Ball was sentenced by the U.S. District Court to 57 months in prison and 2 years of supervised release.
Whoa.
And ordered to pay a fine of $40,000.
That's a lot. That's really a lot.
Yeah. I think that feels appropriate. Like,
yeah.
And to be fair, I guess we don't technically know what Devin wanted, right?
Yeah.
He could have been like, hey, maybe send them like a cease and desist email. And instead they went crazy. Yeah. I think we're all not children here and realize he was likely aware. I'm sure that they, water cooler talked it to hype everyone up.
That's so crazy. That's so fucking nuts.
Nuts. The other guy was sentenced to 2 years in prison and 2 years of supervised release and paid a fine of $20,000. Veronica also didn't fare very well. She got a job as an analyst at a big social media company afterwards, but when the case became public, she was fired. She had to move back in with her parents, and she's trying to get herself wiped off the internet, but she's struggling to get another job.
Oof. And now we're talking about it on this podcast.
Yeah. I mean, whatever. It's like, it's on the New York Times. I think they
get
a little bit more traction than we do. Her quote on the whole thing was like, it's easy to say, why didn't I leave? But in the moment I was terrified and stuck. I'm so sorry. I regret playing even a small role here. If I could go back in time and prevent the Steiners from experiencing this in any way, I would do so in a heartbeat.
Wow.
eBay themselves got a civil suit against them for like the cyber stalking, which is a crazy thing to go after a company for successfully. They were ordered to pay a fine of $3 million to the Steiners, which is great. And the Steiners continue to fucking post on that blog.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I want to see that blog. That's crazy.
I know, right?
Yeah.
This story, I was going to do this as a little aside because I saw the $3 million fine come out and I'll go, oh, that's kind of fun. Some little crazy like story with eBay, whatever.
And wow.
And then I started reading about it and I was like, Jesus.
That's insane.
Nuts.
That's insane.
Truly nuts.
Well, I'm glad nobody actually got hurt because, like, what the fuck? That could have been like a
thankfully he didn't
road rage situation or something.
Thankfully, he didn't have a real heart attack.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, a panic attack alone is like, that's a serious medical situation.
Scary.
And like, these guys are older, you know? They absolutely could have been a way more tragic ending. Instead, I think apparently they're still like suffering psychological trauma from the whole thing.
Well,
it is a crazy ass story. Let me tell you, they're winning cocktail hour. I want to talk about the time I got stalked by an eBay executive.
Yeah, literally. Because I said, hey,
Cool it.
I don't like this.
You're getting paid too much.
All right. Well, cheers with our
We're going to drink this hike.
hopped seltzer.
I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did,
Leave us a 5-star review and all that shit. Thank you.
delightful.
Ooh,
Yeah,
very
it's pretty
hoppy.
good.
It is really good.
Yeah. But seriously, thank you guys so much for listening and all the support. We appreciate you. Drop us a comment. Let us know what you thought. Give us a 5-star review. We will send you some stickers, some other bullshit that we come up with. And I'll have the form down there so you can tell us where to send it to. And then other than that, yeah, follow us.
Follow us, May_Planner and at Risque Business News for the podcast.
At Laura Sogar, and come see us live.
Yeah.
All right. Enjoy.
Bye.
Bye.